Hi everyone, Matthew with Dr. G in Technology, and today we're going to go over 4 jobs in technology that don't require coding and how much they pay. So before we get too deep into our discussion today, certainly go below, put your comments, tell us what you like, what you don't like, and what you want to hear more of. That way we can supply what you're looking for and help you throughout your IT journey. Also, go ahead and click the like button as well as the subscribe button. That way we can continue to offer you uh, new videos, new projects, and so that you become alerted to anything that we're doing with Dr. G and Technology to help you in your IT journey. Lastly, also click below the IT Village. Come join us over there. We've got some really good people who, like yourselves, are looking for perhaps jobs or just more ways to monetize their skills and get other potential income flowing in regarding all the IT skills that you're working towards and that you already have, and you just want to start monetizing on them. So, lots of ways to stay connected with us, and off we go. So, these are some all interesting positions I have held in the past, so I can speak directly to them. And they are by no means the only four. They're just four that I thought about that would be good for this video, especially if you're in the beginning, kind of middle, and maybe even advancing into a leadership role within technology. So let's have a deeper look. First up, technical writer. So I've held this position, and usually kind of parts of it come with being a programmer as well. Because anytime you do programming, you are kind of subjected to doing what's called commenting and documenting your code. And a lot of documentation kind of comes with every single position. A technical writer usually does things like maybe perhaps build user templates, for example. They may be doing user guides on how to use a system or anything other that requires some kind of documenting of technology. The salary range here and all the salary ranges I'll be discussing today are based on the Bureau of Labor Statistics for this point in time, ranges from about 45,000 to about 120,000. You may be asking, why such a big range? Well, it does depend on really your capabilities and your experience, of course. But the big caveat here is that if you are willing to code and you're willing to be a developer, these types of positions will pay more, because what I'm seeing with all of these positions, maybe with the exception of the IT project manager, is that they are all looking towards advancing people's skills if you want to stay in this as a career path for a while, towards learning how to develop. So if you have some of those development skills, programming skills, you'll likely be looking at the middle to upper ranges of the salary range. If not, you'll be looking lower. And so, depending upon the place that you're in, the type of documentation that you're doing, and the kind of technical writing that you're doing, will depend on, well, then they'll tell you kind of what they want you to learn regarding coding and programming languages, etc. So, that goes with technical writing. It's a fun position, especially if you like to take a system and document how it works, kind of step by step, line by line, with perhaps screenshots. I think just about all of us have done this at one point in time in our technology career, and there is an actual career path in this that can be quite lucrative if this is a job that speaks to you. So, next up, we're going to go over to designer. So if you have that eye, the design eye, so to speak, you could be moving into UI UX kind of position. That's user interface, user experience. We've all worked with those systems that were really kind of hard to navigate, maybe clunky. That's where the position of a designer, UI UX person comes in. They can help with navigability issues and really color issues, the flow of pages, everything regarding how we interact with the system as users, right, and as humans. And same thing with this kind of position. The range, based on the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is from 31,000 to about 93,000, maybe even higher. Just depends on where you're at, your experience, etc. But you can expect here that you might start out learning some graphical design types of um, skills with various pieces of software, and then eventually migrate to more advanced design software, everything from Photoshop and well up and beyond, to learn how to become a UI UX expert in the types of coding that you might do here. So same here, just depending on where you're in and what you're doing. This will also depend. There are plenty of boot camps on UI UX. So you could be learning on how to write with jQuery, cascading style sheets, HTML, right? All of those might be fair game towards advancing your skill if you make this a career path and getting to the higher ranges of the salary range. So that does it for designer UI UX. Next up, systems and analyst. I held this position for quite a while, and I think the salary range is about right here, 56,000 to 150,000. What does systems analysts do? They are in many ways a developer's left-hand man and or project manager's right-hand man, depending on how you want to look at it. They're the person who really interfaces with the users, right? They help gather things like requirements. They turn those requirements from the users into technical specs so that a requirement that a user might want, the user says, I want this system to do XYZ. The systems analyst then has to take XYZ and make it speak into technical speak for the programmers so that the programmers understand, okay, for the system to do XYZ, we have to do this spec and this spec and this spec. And these are the kind of various items that have to be designed and coded, etc. And that's kind of what a systems analyst does, right? They very much help the programmer as well as a project manager with interacting with the user and really being that front face of understanding and being a really good middle person who can do both. They've got the good business skill and they're learning a lot more about technical skill. So if you're somebody who has a lot of business knowledge and what you do and kind of want to learn more about how to become more technical and maybe share and do both, this is a position for you. And again, what kinds of programming language would you be working with here to get maybe towards the upper range here? Again, it just depends. All of the ones I mentioned are fair game. I've certainly done this before where I've kind of had the user hat on, but then the developer hat on, writing in Java or whatnot, C Sharp. And, again, if you're willing to code and learn a bit more, design, etc., you can be on the higher ranges of the salary range. Last up is IT project manager. Spent a lot of time in this one. This one certainly requires a bit less coding. It really just kind of depends on how the organization is structured. Sometimes they make the lead developer the project manager. So by nature, they know more coding than maybe they do project management skills per se. But, as a pure career path, this one probably requires the least amount of coding. And ranges here is about 42,000 to 191,000. This one has a very wide range here. And I pulled this range here on the account of the Bureau of Labor Statistics from two different types of positions. Kind of someone who's an IT manager and someone who kind of knows project management. I put them together and said, well, I've seen companies pay project managers as low as this and as high as that, just depending on what the person knows, experience, certifications, etc. This one really requires less coding skills, but usually you've gone through those other three or perhaps other three technical types of positions to get to this position, because this one's kind of more of in a leadership role. This one, you're very front facing, not necessarily along with the customer, but with your leadership above you and the customer's leadership who wants to know everything about time, schedule, budget, quality, risks to the effort, so on and so forth, right? Plenty of knowledge areas to consider with the IT project manager. A lot of people choose this as a career and stay here as a career because it really does involve a leadership role where you're taking care of the customer, taking care of resources, and you still have the ability to have a technical background. So hopefully these four helped you. And if so, if you like what you saw, again, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. Certainly appreciate it. That way you can be alerted to other videos. And once again, click down there and join the IT Village. We'll see you there, and we'll see you on the next video. As a reminder, click the like button, leave us your comments, let us know what you'd like to hear more of. Also, click the subscribe button and the bell button so that you're immediately alerted anytime a new video is published. Be sure to join our IT Village, which is the link to communicate with others within our YouTube channel over on our platform so that you can get answers to your questions. And lastly, in the upper right corner of our YouTube channel, click the free download of How Much Can I Make in IT?